I'm gonna show you a video of a dude who so a 14-year-old girl. No, I'm sorry, a 13-year-old girl went missing on Mother's Day, of all days. And I guess she was hanging out with a friend. Her name was Tristan. And this guy killed her. He's 14 years old. And he pretty much he murdered her. And I'm going to show you this video. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Watch this.
This 14-year-old is accused of a terrible crime.
You're charged with second-degree murder.
Prosecutors say he killed a 13-year-old cheerleader.
She had a lot of friends. She had a lot of people who knew her who are just absolutely devastated.
Tristan Bailey was reported missing from her home outside Jacksonville on Mother's Day. The missing poster declared she was wearing a white cheerleading skirt and dark-colored shirt. Tristan was last seen at a community center popular for its pool and clubhouse. Police say surveillance video shows Tristan at 1:45 in the morning on Mother's Day, accompanied by a male student from her school. Her body was discovered in a nearby wooded area later that day at 6 p.m. She had been stabbed to death. Aiden Fucci was charged with the slaying. He posted this bizarre photo of himself in the police car. He's giving the V sign and writes, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristan lately?"
It's almost like he is taunting the deputies and her friends and her family and the community.
You have the right to remain silent.
This morning, Fucci was brought before a judge. His mother can be seen wiping away tears. Tristan and her cheerleader squad appeared at a competition just a week ago. There she is, proudly posing with her teammates.
We're just so in shock right now. I feel shattered and our heads are just spinning. Tristan was such a light in our program.
A vigil was held last night in her hometown. A service was also held at the gym where the cheerleading squad practices. Now, one young life is lost, and this teen is facing a grim future indeed.
So, this is so sad. This is so sad. Because I think about my little sister who is just about a year younger than this little girl. I think about my cousin who's, only 15. And, he's a good kid. And he loves video games and all that. And I'm sure that this young girl, this young lady, loved that too. And I think about this kid, this boy that killed her. And the first thing I'll say is, how sick can you be? How much of a monster can you freaking be to kill an innocent young little girl who had her whole life ahead of her? Her whole life. And mind the noise. There's people here talking. She had her whole life ahead of her. She was a cheerleader. She was friendly. She was kind. She helped others. She loved going to her gym and practicing. And it's not only her family that's hurting, although that's the most important group to talk about, but it's her team. The people who got to see her all the time. They're hurting. They're hurting. And this son of a gun killed her. And then he taunts police like, "Hey everybody, anyone know where Tristan is? Huh? You son of a bitch." I don't advocate the death penalty at all. I think, we 4-5% of people are innocent that we throw into death row, and we need to get rid of it. But this makes me want to keep it. This guy deserves to be charged as an adult, tried as an adult, and convicted as an adult. And this kid is a kid. If he's put in adult prisons, you don't think a dad is going to find out that he killed a little girl? Oh, my God. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. This kid is going to have a monumentally horrifying time in prison. And I would love that. She was only 13 years old. She didn't deserve to die. And he's so sick, and more than likely he's gonna go claim insanity, this and this and that. And by the way, he could have been bullied, or the most likely scenario that I saw on the YouTube comments where I got that video is he asked her out. She's a young, beautiful little girl, beautiful young girl. To me, a little cutie because I'm 23, just a tiny little adorable little thing, like my little sister, just adorable. So he asked her out. She said no, probably sensed how sick he was. And because he wasn't raised by his mom correctly, who was seen in court, right? He decided, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm a stab her. I'm going to do this. He stabbed her to death. And this kind of reminds me of it happened a few years ago, I think, that I saw this story where this kid had asked this girl to prom. And I think like on the day of prom, she rejected him or something, and on the day of prom he brought a giant knife and like he went in the school hallway and like stabbed her, and like she was bleeding all over the high school floor, and like this kind of reminds me of that. And this is stupid, and it's so sad. It's so sad, man. Oh, my heart breaks for her family and her mom, and him too. I mean, he could have had a life. He could have had a job. He could have had kids. He could have had a wedding. He could have had a savings account, a checking account. Could have had all that. But he didn't, because he decided killing a young girl was ever so more important. And I can't wait to hear what the defense is on this. But, I'm going to stop this video because I'm going to cry. But what a sad situation this is.